Somebody once told me the world was gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. This is an old one, so I don't, there's definitely more people on my Patreon. I just haven't turned out a thing. That'll take a few days when I get to the office. I could actually write it down for next time. Guys, how's it going? It's I, the real Randy Chavez, and Code A today with a Earth 2 video. I am so sorry. It has been the worst start of a new year that I have ever had. But it is okay, because I have you guys, my friendos, all my friendos like Guidebook Gaming, like Chachito, like Erica, Marcy, Dana, and Andy, and everyone else has the hundreds, probably thousands of messages that I got. Mostly asking about land income tax, but everyone else asking me, are you okay? Which means the world. Referral code down below, Patreon down below. I love you all. Getting into it, this is going to be a relatively short one because my voice is still not 100% yet. My everything is not 100%, but I'm trying. I just want to get you guys some content out. Michael Ting has cracked the formula for how to gauge what price a tile should be. And this is just specifically from buying other tiles. It's not cross-trading. It's not buying tiles from the marketplace that people have sold. It's just buying tiles, like going into that search bar and then just buying it. If you put into Google 0.1 E for echo, and then you do that that arrow that points up, the one that's in math. If you put like, oh, let's say like 3 to the 3rd power, you write that little sign that goes up. What you would do is you write 0.1 E, little arrow that goes up, and then parentheses. In that parentheses is X. X could be whatever you want, but in this case, we're going to use X for tiles sold. Tiles sold, again, can work for any country. Say Italy has 30,000 tiles sold, or 100,000 tiles sold, or Japan has whatever. In the US, as the making of this equation, had 591,659 tiles sold. So what you'd put in there is 0.1 E for echo. You do that up sign, arrow that points up, 5.91659. Again, this is in parentheses. 5.91659, because that's how many tiles have been sold. And then you end the parentheses and you hit enter, and you get 37.11. That's about what, again, the tile price was. And give or take, because you're going to have a couple of people selling their properties for above or below market value. And that's solving for X. And you could do that for any property. You could do that for, I'm sorry, any country, any area. Play around with it. I played around with it for a minute or so. And it turns out that if you plug in 690,776, or, 0.1 E to the parentheses 6.90776 end parentheses and hit enter, that's how many tiles have to be bought for the price to be $100 per tile in America. So this is something where you have only another 100,000 tiles bought. We're obviously, I think, in America class 4. I think the way it works, class 1 is just the first 100,000 tiles. Class 2, I think, is up to 300. And then class 3, I think, is up to 5. And then anything over 500,000 tiles, that is class 4. Now, again, as I've gone over in previous episodes and previous videos, that this is a potential for getting more resources on the land. If somebody else comes to your tiles, comes to your land, your property, and collects resources, if you have a better class, you should be able to get more of a percentage of that piece that they get. And outside of, and same thing, I think, for the renters seller agreement. If you have class 1 tiles, you might be able to justify charging your rentee as landlord more rent. Again, that's just my opinion. I don't know. I think that's something that the free market will handle. But if I have class 1 tile versus class 4 tile, I'm going to charge a premium for my class 1 tile. I feel like that's what everyone's going to do. But yeah, so you could plug that number in anywhere, and you'll be able to get the amount of what it'll be. Like if there's 400,000 tiles sold, it'll be X. Or, it'll be Y, whatever. There's a rumor that in phase 2, no more land will be able to be bought. And the land that isn't bought in phase 2 will just belong to the developers. I don't know how these crazy things start. That is absolutely false. That's absolutely false. Having trouble selling tiles. What do I do? What do? Basically, if you're having trouble selling tiles, what a lot of people do, what I would do if I was selling, is I would, if nobody's buying it from the marketplace at market value, then I would say just discount it. I mean, obviously, if you, let's say, paid $1 for a tile, and now it's $4 a tile, sell it for $3 a tile, you're still making a profit. Even though it's kind of hard, I guess, saying like, oh, well, you know, that's 25% off of what it actually is. Yes, but you're still getting it at 3x of what you paid. So, again, that's just my opinion. If you're having trouble selling tiles, discount it. I don't know the average what people have to discount, how often it usually sells. It does change every day. Like, a few weeks ago, my friend Steve, Aria Realty, is like, yeah, I put tiles up, it sold in 2 days. Now, I don't think that's going to be the same thing. Now, obviously, because you're buying from Aria Realty, you're going to want that. Just because he has some top premium stuff, he was here very early, and just for the notoriety, saying, I got this property from Aria Realty, or from the real Randy Chavez, Chavi Cat 5, that's going to have some weight to it, just because slightly bigger in the YouTube E2 community. Just resale value is something you're going to want to look at. Potential price per one tile, and I kind of went over this the other day. It's kind of going to go into the Bitcoin area because this is going to be a cryptocurrency. Again, I thought it was going to be Ethereum, you know, ETH, we have that Etherscan. It still might be. The developers did say they were going to take that down. They haven't yet. Again, for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, if you go in the drop-down menu, near where it says like transactions, you'll see settings. And drop-down menu, click on settings. There will be a button called Etherscan or ETH scan, something like that. And if you click on it, it looks like a place set up where you can go and trade in ETH, Ethereum, you know, the cryptocurrency. Now, the developers did say for that they would take that out. They haven't yet. Maybe that was just they use that as an example to be able to use it, but they figured out they could plug in any different type of Bitcoin or any different type of cryptocurrency. It could be Dogecoin. It could be some of their own making, which that's what they're probably going to do. Please let it be Harambe coin. Please let it be Harambe coin. Everyone press F in the chat to pay respects for our fallen hero, Harambe. But the price per tile, I mean, let's say how many tiles are in the US. Based on that formula that I just provided, you can be able to go and calculate that based on how many prices per tile. However, you know, however many tiles are in the country, you could plug that in. But that does not include for countries like, let's say, Madagascar. Doesn't count for Madagascar. It doesn't count for smaller countries. I think Belize is small, like Puerto Rico. Now, that's going to largely depend on the type of attractions that are there and the type of foot traffic that's there. Because especially right now, it's really just by like cool locations and where we think resources will pop up. That's just part of the game. Like, that is the first part. We're in the beginning. Like, right now, we're an egg Pokemon. There's a lot of potential here in this egg. We got an egg from the Daycare Man. It's Pokemon Crystal version. It's not the egg that Professor Elm gives you that you know is going to be a Togepi. We are now the egg from the Daycare Man in Pokemon Crystal. We could be a Smoochum. We could be an Elekid. We could be a Magby. We could be exactly whatever we want. The reason I say that is because that's where all the prices and speculation are coming in from. Once we get resources and we know exactly where those are, okay, now we've hatched. We're a baby Pokemon at that point. At this point, we're able to, oh, you have this place, this spawns this amount of resources every single day or every single week. I will pay you this much for that because of that. And that people overpay. You'll see prices fluctuate a lot. Fluctuation, I think, will be down at first because people say, oh, my building is gone, what do? So there's going to be a lot of people selling. But then there's going to be so many people buying just because, like me, and again, part of why I've been gone is because because I just absolutely destroyed my body, did not listen. Also because I have to move, I have to there's so much things I have to do. I delayed the opening of my third company, just because of different things. I didn't go to work. I didn't do anything. I lost my voice. But anyway, as I was saying, hopefully this comes in like March, because I will not have funds for the next month. So apologies to anyone that's waiting on me to use the referral code. I'm so cash poor right now. At the end of the day, speaking of referral code, my referral code down below means the world if you do that to me, if you use my referral code. We're going to have people buying in just to get those resources, because this is a long-term thing for me, and a bunch of other people are going to see it as long-term as well. And again, this is mostly in just English. The game hasn't been translated into other languages yet. I feel like there's a lot of ethnocentrism in America, and I guess partly that could be seen as a bad thing, saying like, oh, well, you know, we're better than every other country. And in some ways, yeah, well, we are. We're pretty good here. But in a lot of ways, we're not the best at certain things. You know, you have the literacy rate, the amount of incarcerated citizens per capita, stuff like that. But again, there's also only, what, 350 million people here, which is a lot of people, but there's 3x that in China. There's 3x that in India. There's so many people. Now, granted, India is not, they don't have the GDP that we do per capita, but China has a lot of gamers. They have a lot of people that are going to be in this, and they're going to be spending money. So prices, I think, in phase 2 will fluctuate a lot. And what you could do, some people do in stocks, you have a certain position, and you trade around that position. Say, oh, all right, I'm going to sell here. Oh, now it's dipping, I'm going to buy here. And you could do that. Some people do that successfully. Not a lot, but some people do that in stocks successfully. With this, I think it's going to be too wild. I'm not going to do that. That's never been my bag, baby. I'm more of just a buy and hold. But again, that's phase 2. Baby Pokemon. Price per tile. Once we start getting attractions, people start building what they want to build. Foot traffic. Okay, we are no longer a baby Pokemon. We are a normal type Pokemon, starting Pokemon. We're mid-level. We're no longer a Poliwag. We're no longer Mag. We are a second stage evolution. We're Poliwhirl now. Poliwhirl. We can throw hands. We have hands. Amazing that Poliwag doesn't have anything, but then Poliwhirl does. Anyway, we have, at that point, when attractions start coming, ad revenue starts coming. For those of you that don't know, I've Googled this many times. YouTube, for every 1,000 views that you get, you know, ads playing, obviously, you're going to get about $1 to $3 to your name, to your account. That's what YouTube gives you. If you, again, every 1,000 views that I get is $1 to $3 my way. Not yet, because I'm not a partner yet. I have to wait for our time to go up. But I'd have the subscribers. Now, something similar will probably happen with ad revenue in Earth 2. For every 1,000 people that you have at your property for 10 minutes or more, and you have an ad on your property or an ad right next to your property, people are watching, people are doing whatever, that's going to be money. That incentivizes people to have bigger properties. That incentivizes people to have the coolest amount of things ever there. That's when it's probably going to explode. When people start making a little bit of money. When people start making a couple $100s a month. Now that helps. Like if you are just a, let's say, you know, you have a job so you don't qualify for unemployment. Say you work at a gas station, Target, whatever. You have a job, not making a lot of money, but you don't qualify for unemployment, any of this unemployment assistance. An extra couple $100s a month, that is gas in your car, that is food, that is, especially if you're like me in 2010 and eating at the dollar store. Pretty much what I do now. I eat Taco Bell. I'm so hungry. I had a dream I was eating spaghetti last night. That's going to make people flood into this. Like so many people flood. Once people say, oh, this is what you're making from this. So original question was how much for a price of one tile. What someone's willing to pay for it. It could, and because it's attached to a cryptocurrency, again, not yet, but this is going to be something where you have, it's unlimited. It's like why I would never short a stock. You buy a certain amount of a stock, you can only lose how much money you put in. But if you short a stock, the amount you could lose has no cap, has no ceiling. So this is something where the price per tile has no ceiling. The way that the way that why Superman can beat Goku, even though I kind of don't agree with it. In that video, they explain, well, Goku has limits that he can overcome, but Superman has no limits. This has no limit on the ceiling. The limit does not exist. Am I Lindsay Lohan from Mean Girls? Because the limit does not exist. So, you could see, I would say a property. Now, obviously, property would be 1 to 750,000 tiles, but I could see one property, depending on the foot traffic, it could sell for $1 million, and that's being conservative with it. Because you have a property of hundreds of thousands or 1 million people, and again, 1 million is not a lot. You have billions on Facebook. Yeah, billions on like WhatsApp, you know, Instagram. Like 1 million each day is not a lot. Now it's a lot of making YouTube videos, because that's like $5 grand every day. Like, so if you have 1 million people a day, it's $5,000 a day. What that you're gonna make that back literally in no time. So this is something that let's say 10 is 50, so 100 is 5. Yeah, you're gonna make that back in a year if you pay $1 million for it. So again, $1 million is conservative, but for one property, yeah, that's fine. I don't know when we'll see that. It might not be, and it probably won't be until definitely well after phase 2 drops and we start building and we start seeing ad revenue. It could be as early as next year. My prediction. Street art. Okay, Will Crystal, how you doing? How you doing, buddy? Street art is something that I think you'll only be able to do on your property, because even if you rent, and now again, for street art there has to be buildings. I personally would love it if I would build, like, let's say in New York City, I'm building a boxing gym. On the outside, if someone wants to street art paint Rocky versus Apollo Creed, like, you know, that famous hooah at the end of the third one. And for those of you that don't know, yes, he fights Clubber Lang in the third one, but at the end, Rocky owes Apollo a favor. They have a secret fight that nobody knows about. And if someone would want to paint that on the side of my boxing gym, it's going to be brick outside, that'd be amazing. I'd pay for that. Now, some people just don't want, they just want to, you know, create art, which is fine. I think that's something you're going to have to go towards the landlord for and ask, or the owner of that. Graffiti? I don't know. Because, I mean, graffiti, if it's something that you can make anything, you should be able to just wash it off, pressure washer, power washer, and yeah, if the owner doesn't like it, they could wash it off. But if they like it, keep it. Yeah, that'd be great. Can we make computers in-game? This is going to get very meta, because we're going to have... I think that's going to be one of the ways that you can that you can have mini games inside the game. Oh, here's a computer. Play this mini game, and that's something that I'm going to have to end soon. Sorry. Play this mini game. I think that's something you can do. Can you make computers in game to determine where inventory, or determine where resources are spawning? Maybe. I don't know, but I think computer in game, similar to Pokemon in the PC, you can. In Pokemon, you can put Pokemon in there. You could put items in there. So maybe this might be a place to store your inventory. Because again, they said that we're not going to magically be able to carry around 600 million pieces of resources. So that might be some place where you could store inventory. I'm not sure yet. Waterfalls. Can you use waterfalls for energy? As they do, you know. Water comes in, create, you know... I don't know if I think because this game is made by, yeah, like big tech, like smart tech guys that are usually left leaning and liberal, they're gonna want to promote clean and renewable energy. Like, I think we'll be able to have wind and solar farms. That's something that you could build on your place, so maybe you don't need oil or electricity. You could just have that. I think that would be great. So waterfalls create energy. Yeah, I think if you do that, whoever has Niagara Falls, you are fantastic. I want to have a go over waterfalls in a barrel. Niagara Falls, just like my grandpa. All right, I love you guys. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments good for the YouTube algorithm. I will work on more videos. I don't know when the upload schedule will be. I don't know. Again, things are gonna be crazy for the month of January and for early February. I'll try to get these out as quickly as possible, but they could be very sporadic. So I apologize to all you guys. I really do. It killed me not to make videos the past week, but I'm back now. I love you guys. I really do. Everything means the world to me, especially every time you use my referral code. Bye.